On the news tonight, federal government announces new national textbook ranking system for primary and secondary schools. State Police Steering Committee proposes framework against abuse and political interference. Nigerians lament over rising cost of living. Abroad, militants attack in Mali kills defense minister, forces Russian mercenaries to withdraw. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Delta Television News tonight. My name is Onome Iyarowe. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Now the news in detail. The federal government has announced a new national textbook ranking system for primary and secondary schools across Nigeria, aimed at improving the quality and standardization of educational materials. The policy, introduced through the Federal Ministry of Education, is scheduled to begin in September this year and is designed to eliminate substandard textbooks and ensure that only curriculum-compliant and high-quality learning materials are used in schools nationwide. According to the policy framework, the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council will retain its statutory role of approving textbooks, but will now establish standing subject committees made up of experts to assess and rank textbooks based on academic and pedagogical standards. Only a limited number of top-ranked textbooks will be approved for use, while any textbook not ranked under the new system will be banned from schools, even if previously approved. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa stated that the reform followed extensive consultations with stakeholders and was aimed at improving learning outcomes across all levels of education. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring consistent, high-quality educational resources for Nigerian students as part of broader reforms in the education sector. The Steering Committee on the Establishment of a State Police Service has proposed a robust, multi-layered oversight framework to prevent abuse and political interference. The committee, chaired by Professor Olu Ogunsaki and inaugurated by the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Latunji Disu, in its report, said strong accountability mechanisms were essential in ensuring that state police served the public rather than political interests. It noted that past challenges within the Nigerian police force, including public distrust arising from the End SARS protest, cases of extortion, and death in custody, highlighted the dangers of weak oversight. The report proposed the establishment of state police service commissions in each state as independent constitutional bodies responsible for appointments, promotions, discipline, and budget review. According to the report, membership should include a retired High Court judge or a senior legal expert as chairman, alongside representatives from the civil society, traditional institutions, women, and youth, while the commissions will also publish annual performance reports to ensure transparency and public trust. As economic challenges persist in Nigeria, many citizens have adopted various survival strategies to cope with the rising cost of living and the declining purchasing power. Gift Unoja went to town to sample the opinions of residents on the issue.
Nigerians have continued to adapt to harsh economic situation, finding practical ways to manage daily expenses. Some residents said they had significantly reduced transportation costs by cutting down the use of personal vehicles and relying more on public transport.
You know, as time goes on, you cut your coat according to the size of your cloth. I have cars now, but that because of the fighting economy, I weigh certain things.
So how do you see CEOs that have the way the Nigerian economy is, they don't even have much more this thing to be able to pay their workers. Even government workers are complaining as well.
Others explained that they were turning to multiple sources of income to survive, from petty trading and small-scale businesses to farming and digital freelancing, among other alternative livelihoods, as salaries were no longer sufficient. They, however, emphasized the role of faith in the midst of all challenges, saying God was the only sure refuge for daily provision and strength.
First thing is to have faith in God, believe in God, because it's God that has the key to everything.
We are living by God's grace. It is just God. Just God. If not, the survivor is difficult. Even coming to office, but God will never forsake his children.
Nigerian economy is very difficult right now at the moment, and honestly what I've gone into with my education and all that is business. I've gone into business, selling of shoes, because I believe that at least there's no how I'll go out a day without selling one or two things I need to survive.
Most of us seek other alternate means of surviving, going to business. Many of us also engage in ourselves in farming, agro industry, and all that. You as a person think or having that or believing in your salary alone, I don't believe you can make a better end means monthly. So you have to adopt other alternatives to make a better living.
The people called on the government to ease their burdens through policies that will stabilize the price of essential goods, improve transportation, and create more job opportunities. Gift Unosha reporting.
The Defense Headquarters has announced that the court-martial over last year's Ford coup plot will resume on May 8. About 36 military officers are currently on trial for allegedly planning to overthrow the government. The proceedings, which began recently in Abuja, are being held behind closed doors with no media access. 6 civilians are also standing trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja over their alleged involvement in the incident. All the accused persons have pleaded not guilty. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wade Shaibu, is being expected as special guest of honor at the commissioning of the Ogume Recreational Park, Ogume, in Ndukwa West local government area on Wednesday. According to a statement signed by Chief Chukuma Osaga, Chief Chukutem Adibili, and Chief Prince Ogeleka, the commander of the Nigerian Army Space Command, Major General UG Ogeleka, who is executor of the project, is chief host at the event, which will kick off at 10 a.m. The statement enjoined residents of Ogume and its environs to attend the ceremony, which represents unity, growth, and a renewed vision for community life, as well as a legacy of cultural identity and shared heritage. The Police Service Commission and the Nigeria Police Force have fixed tomorrow, April 28 through Thursday, April 30, for the police constable's recruitment written examination in Asaba. A statement by the acting chairman of the State Awareness Creation Committee on Youth Enlistment, Dr. Fred Ogenesiwe, says candidates are to sit for the examination at the event center on Okpanam Road, opposite the Cenotaph Complex, Asaba, at the time stated in their invitation messages. The statement advised all previously screened candidates to check their emails and SMS notifications for their specific examination dates and other details. It directed candidates to comply with the prescribed dress code of white t-shirt, white shorts, white canvas shoes, and white stockings, while advising those coming from outside Asaba to arrive at least a day earlier to avoid lateness. The examination is the final stage of the nationwide recruitment of 50,000 police constables approved by President Bola Tinubu and Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has clarified that it is withholding results of underage candidates, which accounts for the no result yet notifications seen by some candidates. JAMB, in a statement by its spokesman, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, said only candidates who would be at least 16 years old by September 30 were eligible to sit for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. It explained that underage candidates could only be considered under the exceptional candidate policy, which required a minimum score of 320 in the UTME and at least 80% in subsequent screening processes, noting that only candidates who met the benchmark would be shortlisted for further assessments. The board added that until the process was completed, results of underage candidates would remain unreleased, urging stakeholders to remain patient as the board upheld standards to protect the integrity of the admission system. Believers have been tasked to sow seeds of integrity, diligence, and faith as a pathway to a purposeful and impactful future. The General Overseer of the Faith Pavilion Church, Pastor Henry Ibemesin, gave the charge in his message at the DBS Asaba weekly prayer meeting. Gloria Otolo completes the report.
Speaking on the topic, seeding a great future, drawn from Galatians 6 verse 7, Pastor Ibemesin pointed out that life operated on the principle of sowing and reaping, adding that every word, action, and decision served as a seed, each producing a corresponding harvest in due time. He explained that daily routines grew into habits, while habits shaped character, and character ultimately determined one's future. The cleric advised believers to therefore change their seed if they desired better outcomes, rather than indulge in complaining about present circumstances.
God does not determine our harvest, our seed determines our harvest. Every day of our life we plant seeds. Your words are seeds. Your actions are seeds. Your decisions are seeds. Everything you do is seeds you are planting for yourself. And scripture says, he said, you don't mock God. Mock God is, you don't deceive God. For whatever you planted for yourself, you are reaping. Don't question the harvest. If you are angry with your harvest, change your seed.
He encouraged those striving to sow good seed to remain patient and consistent, assuring them that in due season, their harvest would speak for them. The prayer meeting featured intercession for peace and progress, as well as divine protection for the management and staff of the station. Gloria Otolo reporting.
You're watching the Delta Television main news. Still to come, militants' attack in Mali kills defense minister, forces Russian mercenaries to withdraw. Details in a moment. Please stay tuned.
I'm very, very impressed with what we have seen in this MFO Phase 2. What I can see here is that they are not economizing the materials that we have sufficiently provided for in the Bill of Engineering, Measurement and Evaluation, and that is what we expect of every contractor, whether indigenous or otherwise. You must be able to execute the project in such a way that it stands the test of time, and for Deltans to indeed reap the benefit of what Oborevwori intends. Our coming here today is to ensure that the different contractors are able to meet up with the schedule of work as to when they are supposed to complete. And then secondly, to also ensure that they are moving in line with the Bill of Engineering Measurement and Evaluation. Borowori is doing it to open up the rural communities, connect them to their kids and kin in the city, and make also life much more livable for them.
You're welcome back to Delta Television Main News. And now straight on to the foreign scene. Mali's defense minister, Mr. Sadio Kamara, has died following an apparent suicide truck bombing at his residence near the capital, Bamako. The attack was part of a wave of coordinated assaults carried out by jihadist militants and separatist groups across the country. Reports later confirmed his death, stating that Mr. Kamara succumbed to injuries sustained while engaging the attackers. It also indicated that the head of the military junta, General Assimi Goita, was moved to a safe location after his residents were similarly targeted during the attacks. Meanwhile, in northern Mali, Russian mercenaries working with the military reportedly agreed to withdraw from Kidal following 2 days of intense clashes. The separatist Azawad Liberation Front confirmed the development, signaling a possible shift in the ongoing conflict in the region. United States President Donald Trump has said he is not worried during a shooting incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. The suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, was arrested after opening fire near a security checkpoint inside the venue. He is expected to face formal charges in court as investigations continue. President Trump was quickly evacuated from the hall as gunshots were heard, while authorities confirmed that a planned state visit by King Charles III to the United States would proceed with minor adjustments. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has assured that King Charles III will be safe during his state visit to the United States, set to begin today. Speaking with newsmen, Mr. Trump said the White House grounds remained highly secure, adding that security discussions were also held between U.S. officials and Buckingham Palace ahead of the visit. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace confirmed that the King and Queen's program would proceed largely as planned. The United Kingdom's ambassador to the U.S., Christian Turner, said the visit aimed to renew and strengthen diplomatic ties between both countries. In business, the cost of frozen fish is on the rise across major markets in the country. A market survey shows that prices of popular species such as Titus, Scumbia, and Croaker have increased significantly, with a single fish selling for between 4,500 naira and 6,000 naira, depending on the size and freshness. Horse mackerel has risen to as high as 7,500, while a kilogram of ice fish ranges from 8,000 to 12,000 naira. Premium fish varieties such as croaker, snapper, and barracuda are going for between 10,000 and 14,000 naira. Traders attributed the steady rise in prices to increased transportation costs, adding that the high cost of fuel had doubled transportation expenses, affecting the quality of the products before arrival. Nigerians have begun shifting preference to locally made clothing as the rising cost of foreign wares and second-hand clothes, popularly known as okrika, continues to strain households' budgets. Findings showed that many consumers who previously favored imported fashion items are now embracing Nigerian-made outfits due to affordability and improved quality. Some local dealers said the quality of locally produced clothes and shoes had improved remarkably, making it difficult to distinguish them from foreign brands while remaining more affordable for buyers. They added that the increased demand for local wares had boosted sales, prompting traders to stock and promote indigenous fashion items. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has congratulated the senator representing Delta South Senatorial District, Senator Joel Onowakpo Thomas, on his 59th birth anniversary. In a message through his chief press secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, Governor Oborevwori commended the lawmaker for his sustained contributions to the growth and development of the state. The governor noted that Senator Onowakpo Thomas, a one-time chairman of Isoko South Local Government and former chairman of the Delta State Board of Internal Revenue, had distinguished himself in public service through initiatives that improved the state's revenue generation and strengthened its financial base. Governor Oborevwori also applauded the legislature's performance in the National Assembly, particularly as chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Content, and for his role in the passage of the Nigerian Maritime University Okerenkoko Establishment Act. He prayed for God's guidance, protection, and good health for the celebrant, wishing him many more years of impactful service to the nation. In sports, the Sapele Lions Football Club have won the Delta Football Association Arthur Ferdinand Federations Cup, defeating Warri Wolves in the final at the Southern Delta University Stadium, Ozoro. The match started late due to the delayed arrival of Sapele Lions, while Warri Wolves dominated early play and hit the crossbar through Igbono, Ewari Roma. Sapele Lions improved in the second half, with Harrison Odumosu scoring in the 68th minute before Emmanuel Arigboha equalized for Warri Wolves, sending the game to penalties, which Sapele Lions won 3-2. Delta Queens also retained their title, beating Royal Queens 3-1. Chairman of the Delta Football Association, Chief Godwin Adode, praised the sponsor and reaffirmed his commitment to developing football in the state. CEO of Arthur Ferdinand Engineering, Chief Idama Amoro, lauded the competition and pledged continued support, including donations and prize money. The final attracted top sports stakeholders, including Chief Solomon Ogba and the chairman of the State Sports Commission, Mr. Honorode Oborevwori, among other stakeholders and football enthusiasts. That's our news. Next is the thought for the day. Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. To end Delta Television main news, here are the highlights. The federal government has announced a new national textbook ranking system for primary and secondary schools across Nigeria, aimed at improving the quality and standardization of educational materials. The policy, introduced through the Federal Ministry of Education, is scheduled to begin in September this year and is designed to eliminate substandard textbooks and ensure that only curriculum-compliant and high-quality learning materials are used in schools nationwide. The Steering Committee on the Establishment of a State Police Service has proposed a robust, multi-layered oversight framework to prevent abuse and political interference. As economic challenges persist in Nigeria, many citizens have adopted various survival strategies to cope with the rising cost of living and declining purchasing power. We also reported that Mali's Defense Minister, Mr. Sadio Kamara, has died following an apparent suicide truck bombing at his residence near the capital, Bamako. That ends Delta Television News tonight. On behalf of the news editor and the production team, this is Onome Iyarowe, thanking you for watching. You have a beautiful night rest.